What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another reaction on this channel, man. Today we are in tune for another very interesting topic of conversation, okay? Now, I made a video about the passing of Takeoff in yesterday's post, and I mentioned to you guys at the end of the video that with this particular situation, I really felt like there were a lot of details about the story that weren't adding up. Now, before we continue any further, I do want to say rest in peace to Takeoff. It is another very sad and unfortunate situation to see a celebrity, another well-known figure, pass away at the expense of gun violence. Now, we often talk about how celebrities choose to sacrifice family members or friends or do some type of ritual. And honestly speaking, I find some very concerning things around Takeoff's death that I want to talk about today. First and foremost, the fact that he passed away on Halloween was the #1 red flag off rip, okay? Now, for me, I really believe Halloween to be a pagan holiday. I do not celebrate Halloween. Ever since I was 12 years old, I've never dressed up or celebrated. I really feel like it's celebrating evil. If you do research on it as well, you will also find out that many cultures believe the ideology that it was a day that provided a gateway between the spiritual world and the physical world to roam freely amongst each other. Basically saying that spirits are amongst us during Halloween night. That's what's believed. In other cultures, they believe that Halloween or October 31st was a day for sacrifice so that they would have a profitable harvest, okay? So now with all these ideologies about celebrating evil, having spirits walk amongst us during this day, or it being a season of sacrifice, I found it very coincidental or interesting that Takeoff passed away that same night. Like I said, I do not celebrate Halloween, and I hope everybody who did was safe, honestly speaking. That was red flag #1. Red flag #2 is when I realized that Quavo and Takeoff, the only two people that were at the dice game in the incident of Takeoff's passing, they dropped the video that same exact day that Takeoff passed away. Obviously speaking, it's #1 on trending, and whenever I see something like that, it automatically piques my curiosity. I watched this video maybe about 25 times as soon as I saw that it came out, bro. And honestly, there were a lot of correlations between the music video and Halloween. I'm not going to really dive too deep because people can argue it was a Halloween themed video, but there were a lot of, you know, skulls and bones and RIP signs in the background, and I'm not going to sit here and try to feed you guys a conspiracy theory based on stuff like that, because you can argue against it. But there's one part of the video that you cannot argue against, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. And that's what we're going to be talking about right here. Now, I want you guys to notice in this music video, bro, there's a clip in here in which Quavo is laying on the bed, and there's a contract that literally says Migos right here next to him, bro. And I want you guys to pay attention to this shit, bro. There's a contract that says Migos right next to him. He looks at the contract. Alongside the contract is a gun. Why the hell is there a gun in this music video? The same day that Takeoff passed away. Okay, cool. A coincidence. But check this out, bro. He picks up the contract, takes a look at the contract, but then chooses the gun. Now, to me, personally, I looked at that as he chose the gun over the Migos, okay? That's just my interpretation of that scene. Now, honestly speaking, I could dive deeper into it, which I most likely would do a lot more research, and I don't know if there's a correlation between the fact that Offset is with Cardi B, and we already know that Cardi B has Illuminati and Satanic ties, and I don't know if this was Quavo's way of being indoctrinated into that the same way that Offset was indoctrinated into that lifestyle through Cardi B. Like I told you guys, look at Kim Kardashian. Look at the Kardashians all together. They always date these random men and then spit them back out. It's like they're vetting to see if they qualify for the Illuminati lifestyle. Like, can they be a part of this secret society? Did it to Kanye. As soon as Kanye started speaking the truth, Kim Kardashian said, "I want a divorce." I want a divorce, very respectfully. Same thing with Pete Davidson. Same thing with Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott. It goes on all the time. And once we saw Travis Scott speaking to Kylie Jenner, we automatically noticed satanic shit going on in his music, sacrifices at his concerts and stuff like that. Very, very concerning. I don't know if there's a correlation between Offset, Cardi B, and this situation right here, but that's something to keep in mind, all right? Now, I just broke down this scene right here. Very, very concerning, very, very questionable. Red flag #1 was the fact that he passed away on Halloween night. Red flag #2 was the fact that he chose between the gun and the Migos contract. And red flag #3 was the fact that now new evidence is coming out saying that this entire murder case was an accident and that it was actually somebody a part of their own friend group who accidentally shot Takeoff, bro? Accidentally, my boy, or was it sacrificial? That's a question to keep in mind. And once I heard that it was somebody on their own side who committed this act, in my mind, I already knew that this was a sacrifice. That's just how I'm thinking, bro. That is literally just how I'm thinking, because that right there is like, how the hell do you accidentally shoot your own friend, bro? Like, if you look at the videos that they show online, it's not an accidental shot in the arm, shot in the, no, it's just, it's to the head. It's like, he was like, it was it was like no coming back. Like, it doesn't seem like an accident, bro. Honestly speaking. And if you look in the video, Offset was in the back of the friend group. The fight and the argument broke out in the front. How is it an accidental death, bro? Like, I really want you guys to break it down. But we have this video right here that we're going to check out for a little bit and see what really goes on. This is The Truth Is. He's going to speak about his perspective on what happened. Obviously speaking, The Truth Is has some very good content. I fuck with his channel. And we're like-minded. So I don't know if he sees what I saw. And if he didn't, hopefully he can add to this case. Like I said, I believe it's a sacrifice. But let's get into this video, bro.
Today, November 1st, the world received the news that Takeoff, who is 1/3 of the Migos, has sadly passed away. The story as of right now is that Quavo and Takeoff were at a dice game Halloween night in Houston when all of a sudden a situation broke out after Quavo got into an argument over losing in the dice game. Things went left and someone on the Migos entourage led off, which ended up hitting Takeoff. More people on the opposing side led off, which again landed on Takeoff. Takeoff sadly didn't make it. And
so Takeoff was just the target. On both ends, he was just the target.
At 2:30 a.m. on November 1st. Takeoff was only 28 years old when this situation happened. The reason I am making this video is because the details of the situation are extremely suspicious, and what I am reading about the situation is painting a very sinister picture to me. If you guys have watched my last few videos, specifically the Doja Cat and the Halloween movie episodes, then you might remember me talking about Samhain and the sacrifices made to the god of death during the month of fall, especially in the month of October. Halloween is truly a pagan festival called Samhain, where the pagans will perform ritual offerings to the god of death in return for a good harvest. The pagans would make...
This is what I was just telling you guys right here. Sacrifice for return of a good harvest.
These offerings on the night of Halloween. And coincidentally, this all happened to Offset on Halloween night. I spoke about how occultists love doing rituals during the fall season. They wait for this all year. If you have been watching the news lately, then you have seen a few situations that have already happened in October that are obvious ritual offerings. I know the Migos are into the occult, as there's photos of the Migos with Michelle Lamy, the witch handler who influences the music industry from behind the scenes. The Migos, just like the rest of the megastars, sold their souls and took the Masonic oath in order to be superstars. If you guys would like me to make a full breakdown on the Migos, comment Migos below. I am strictly focusing on the Takeoff situation for this video. Now, from the details that I am seeing online, it appears that Takeoff's own crew were responsible for what happened to him. Takeoff was apparently not even in the dice game that Quavo was playing at the time. Quavo apparently was upset the entire game and started the whole altercation. In my opinion, as of what I'm reading and seeing online, it appears that Takeoff was set up to be a ritual offering for the pagans' good harvest. Like I said at the beginning of the month of October, sadly, these things were going to start happening, just like we saw last year around the same time. At this point, people are refusing to see the truth that is so blatantly in their faces. Now, the details of the situation speak for themselves. This happened to Takeoff by the hands of his own guys, while nothing happened to Quavo, who was actually the one arguing.
They said that Quavo got shot. Takeoff died and Quavo got shot. That was the first article that I've ever seen about this situation. How does your own man kill you though, bruh?
The Migos were one of the biggest groups in the music industry at one point, but things have been drying up for them for the last few years. They still had their loyal fan base, but the days of chart-topping pop mainstream success were long gone. This also happened to Takeoff around 2:30 a.m., very close to the witching hour, which starts at 3 a.m. We already know the Halloween witching hour is the most important for occultists. We know what these artists must do to get back in good graces with the Masonic Order. Sacrifices must be made. I recently did an episode on the Hocus Pocus movie where I spoke about the end of the second movie, where the main witch of the three does a sacrifice ritual, offering her two sisters in order to have ultimate power. This is the same we're seeing from the music industry, time and time again. Many people think Kanye offered his mother for fame and success, and after Kanye offered his mother, his career took off to new heights.
He is a billionaire. Hey, Hey, now forgive me, because I don't know the cause of his mother's death. So forgive me if it was like cancer related or if it was health condition related. But all I'm saying is, rest in peace to Kanye West's mother. She is no longer with us. But Kanye West is a billionaire. That is all I'm saying. Once he started speaking out against the Jews, the handlers, the owners of this entire industry, the people who literally orchestrate what goes on amongst each and every single music group, and when I say music group, I mean record labels. Once you start offending them, making these anti-Semitic statements, now he's losing money? I wonder what he's gonna do to get back on their good side.
Heights that was unimaginable. This
crazy.
is what I believe Quavo just did with Takeoff. Made an offering for ultimate success, just like Kanye and many others who play that game. As far-fetched as this might sound to many, you must understand the Migos and just about all mainstream artists are Masonic puppets. The Migos would not be hanging around the biggest occultist of them all, Michelle Lamy, if they weren't into the occult. In my opinion, sadly, Takeoff was the one that was chosen, and now Quavo would reap all the rewards from this happening. For the next few weeks, the Migos' music would rise in streams, and shows would be done in honor of their offering. We must remember the pagans would even offer their firstborn child to the god of death during Samhain for his blessing.
That's crazy.
This is why so many of these artists are passing during the fall season. In my opinion, it appears that what happened to Takeoff last night was set up to happen, and it was set up by his own people. I know some of you are going to say that this is street related, but I just don't see it that way. All the signs speak for themselves, and I can...
But it is a little crazy, and like I said, once you have too many coincidences lining up perfectly, I feel like the only logical thing to do is take it for the truth. And like I mentioned in the beginning, we have Offset, who has already claimed his seat with Cardi B. We've already exposed Cardi B several times for being another puppet to this industry and their agendas. Offset already has his queen, his handler, okay? We've already exposed Cardi B for being controlled and under literally what I call it is like a Masonic brainwash that they have. And you will literally see clips of Cardi B like zoning out real quick and then getting snapped back into reality. Offset is set. Takeoff was literally the most soft-spoken individual out of the entire Migos group. He didn't say too much, had no problems, he wasn't flashy. Look at the way that my son has 25 chains on, 3 watches, 2 rings. Like, he's literally the most quiet one out of all of them. People didn't give Takeoff his credit, and I honestly feel like Quavo could have sacrificed him, as we saw just in that music video that I showed you guys. He literally chose between the contract with the Migos. Rumors were already saying that the Migos was done. I want you to be mindful of that, guys. The Migos was already done. Rumors were saying that Offset was done with the Migos, and now it was just Quavo and Takeoff. And guess what happened a couple months later, bruh? Your boy Quavo chose. Your boy Quavo chose. He chose. He made his decision, guys. And to me, honestly, whenever I see a death like this, it automatically makes me question like is it a real, like, the P&B Rock situation? I really feel like it was an unfortunate event. I truly do. I really feel like P&B situation was an unfortunate event, honestly speaking. Really. I don't know if they had any life insurance. He was an independent artist and he died. That means no label would profit off of his life insurance. He wasn't making music anymore. Like, there was really no reason for anyone to any reason, any inclination, any purpose for them to sacrifice him. That's the reason why I'm saying there's nothing that lines up there. There's nothing that you can logically even explain it for it being a sacrifice other than pure speculation. But this situation right here, when we have messages like this, the Migos and the gun, when we have situations where music is falling off, when we have situations where music groups are splitting apart, and now we have a death related to it's just questionable. That's all I have to say. But look, I'm going to end this video right here, okay? If you guys did enjoy, leave a like down below. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this situation. And I'm going to catch y'all next one, man. Peace.